Welcome to all my musical lovers. I'm sure, like me, you probably know about the 27 Club, and if you don't, please watch and find out. Back in 1969 to 71, there was a number of famously talented people that all died within a couple of years of each other, from Jim Morrison, Jimi Hendrix, Janis Joplin to Brian Jones. And then in 1994, Kurt Cobain died, and he was 27. His fans put together that he was 27 and belonged to this group of famous people, and so became the infamous 27 Club. Johnny Allen Hendrix was born November 27th, 1942. Born in Seattle to Al and mother Lucille Jenner. Lucille was not your typical mother, as she left the family for long stretches of time and drank incessantly. They divorced in 1951, so Al took care of Jimmy and his brother Leon and changed Jimmy's name to James Marshall Hendrix. By 15, Jimi Hendrix was playing guitar. He was able to play equally well whichever hand he used, allowing him to entertain in ways never imagined. Leaving high school to join the Army at 17 and to avoid a jail sentence. Due to popularity at musical festivals, including Woodstock, Jimmy became an icon over 4 years. He worked hard, but between drugs and work, he was slowly killing himself. He had said in an interview, "I'm not sure I'll live to see 28 years old." Money problems, drug problems, abuse issues. With a mob-connected manager named Michael Jeffrey, many blame him for his death. At the time of his death, he was involved with Monica Danemy. Conflicting reports of whether they were together in love or just something more casual. They were seen fighting, and at the hotel, Monica, a German figure skater, she gave him 9 sleeping pills and they drank lots of red wine together. The accounts change after that, but the one thing that is true, that on September 18th, 1970, Jimi Hendrix died by choking on his own vomit. Originally, on October 1st, 1970, he was buried close with his mother in a very simple grave. But in 2002, due to his popularity, Hendrix's body was exhumed and reburied under a marble dome memorial. Jimi Hendrix, a musical genius who has influenced generations and for generations to come. First question up. I'd like a card to represent the energy of Jimi Hendrix. 6 of Pentacles. So with the 6 of Pentacles, there's a lot riding on you. There's a lot of people's energy, money, and need is riding on you. So with the 6 of Pentacles, you can see that his life was not his own. He had a lot of responsibilities, and he really just wanted people to appreciate him for himself, for what he was capable of doing. He wanted the status, he wanted the money, but they were taking it as quickly as he could earn it. He feels very used and abused in his life. And with the 6 of Pentacles here, you're definitely looking at, some false starts in life, a lot of childhood issues, which we already know he has because of his mother. So the next question would be, what was his life's purpose? Interesting. He got the King of Cups. So his focus for his life was to become emotionally aware. I think he's had a lot of issues with women, especially with his mother, because she literally just treated him as though he was nothing. and she had alcohol issues, and there was just so much heartache and heartbreak. And it was his purpose, it was his life purpose to learn to control these emotions, to stop that continuing, generational issue that can come up. Interesting. What did he think of his passing? Five of Cups. So the Five of Cups, he is really concentrating on what he doesn't have and what everybody's taking from him. This is definitely showing overindulgence, alcohol, drugs. So with the Five of Cups, here you have somebody who's sick and tired of stuff. They can see what's fallen down. They can't see what's still up there. But there's a feeling here of just being sick and tired of all the stress. And certainly it shows an overindulgence in drinking and alcohol. But this is just really, feeling alone and feeling isolated, abandoned almost. For clarifier, we got the Knight of Swords. So with the Knight of Swords, this shows legal issues. This shows police, uniform. Knight of Swords. I don't like to give in to conspiracy theories, but I'm uncomfortable because here I'm seeing somebody being taken advantage of. And I do feel that there was some kind of setup here. I feel as though the girlfriend was involved, the police might have been involved, the manager might have been involved. It's like everybody was trying to get something from him, and he did not drink all that red wine and pills because he didn't want to live or he was suicidal. He knew he was up creek without a paddle, but he just couldn't get out of his own way. He needed help, but the people that he surrounded himself, we got the Knight of Swords. This is the action card, cutting him down because he was worth more alive or dead than alive. That's uncomfortable. So, for his thoughts on the afterlife, for his view on the afterlife, he got the Queen of Cups. Which is amazing if you think about it, because I had to sit with the card for a little while, because in his life, the negative influence was his mother. He had issues with women. A woman was with him when he died. And from the cards and from, if you read up on his life story, there was a lot of alcohol, a lot of pills, like to the point where it was all in his hair and stuff. So this, as a thought on the afterlife, shows me that he reconnected with the feminine power that he needed, that the comfort that which he did not receive on earth, it was complete and whole and full when he went to the afterlife, which I think is beautiful. So, what would be Mr. Hendrix' advice for us? The advice card is the moon. Isn't that a beautiful card? When the advice is coming from the moon, it's letting you know that a lot of your fears and your concepts that you have on this earthly plane really don't serve you. That this is saying let go of the fear and do it anyway. That if you change your perspective, you'll change the way you see things. And that you need to let go. Be yourself. Isn't that beautiful? Because how many of us are being held up by standards that we either create in our own heads or that are told to us by society? And I mean, the world has just been going crazy lately, so it's hard. So I think that's wonderful advice, just to be yourself. To let go of some of the lunacy and some of the misguiding that's happening. This is happening with him. And the advice to say, hey, you guys are being guided improperly. Follow your own path. Follow your own heart. Let go of fears. I think that's amazing. Thank you. Interestingly enough, both Janis and Jimmy were friends. I put some pictures where you can see Jimmy recording her. And the reports go that there might have been a little something between them, but Janis was a pretty strong woman. And if you stepped out of line, she pushed you back into line. So I don't know how far he got. But let's have a look at Janis Joplin. On January 19th, 1943, Janis Lynn Joplin was born in Port Arthur, Texas, to Dorothy and Seth. She had a happy, middle-class life until Janis hit her teens. Unfortunately for Janis, she was underdeveloped in comparison to others her age, and she had really bad acne. She was not a natural beauty as her mother had wished for her to be. Janis was not only a disappointment to her mother, she rebelled. Other kids were cruel and bullied her unmercifully. She was an outsider and had a few friends that were also outsiders. They liked to go out and drink and listen to the blues. Her love was born and obvious from the very start. One of the stories I loved about her was that she loved the blues singer Bessie Smith. To her, she thought she was the reincarnation of her. And when she found out that she did not have a tombstone, she not only went out and ensured that Bessie Smith had a tombstone, she paid for half of it. She fought back. Her insecurity was born from this, but it was made so much worse when she was in her first year of college. She was voted ugliest man. She was devastated. She'd never forgotten it and quit college to move to San Francisco. On the Dick Cavett show, she said that they laughed me out of there. This is where she was introduced to drugs. She lived hard and partied harder. Her attitude was, if it feels good, do it. She was so destructive, so afraid and unaccepted that she was hard on the outside to protect herself. She drank Southern Comfort like water. In October of 1970, Janis had been drug-free for 6 months. She was proudly clean and in love. She was in a relationship with Seth Morgan. They had talked about kids, quitting singing for a normal life, and she was engaged to be married. That day, she had called City Hall to get a marriage license. They were closed. She called Seth and ended up in a fight as he had canceled a get-together with her. They had been apart for a while as she was in Hollywood, California, working on her album, Pearl. She called him later only to find out that he was gone out. Earlier in the day, she had been bored and called her Candyman, her dealer, and received heroin. The heroin was uncut, meaning it was more than 50% pure. For someone who has been clean for 6 months, this was lethal. In room 105 at the Landmark Hotel, Janis Joplin died alone from an overdose, making her a founding member of the 27th Club. Interestingly, 2 days before her death, she had changed her will to give her parents and siblings most of the money, and money left over for her friends to have a party in her honor. Janis was cremated, and her ashes were scattered into the Pacific Ocean. Let's ask the same questions of Janis Joplin. First card out, energy of Janis Joplin. What was the energy of Janis Joplin? Three of Pentacles. Oh, poor child. You know, her value was in how others saw her. And at any given time, this could be great, it could be medium, or it could just stop her in her tracks. But like most of us, the negative holds on a lot easier and a lot faster and a lot better than the positive, because there were people, lots of people, that thought she was beautiful, not because of her looks, but because of her personality. And she just didn't see it. Ooh. I don't know. I probably should. I'm going to say it. In my research, when she was upset that her boyfriend or her fiance didn't come to see her, there was reports that she was having a menage a trois with him and one of her good girlfriends, because she liked all different people. And that she was upset that they didn't get together for this. And if you look at this as the Three of Pentacles getting together. So, yeah. And there was definitely, this was her having, you know, in her life, in her earthly life, learning to accept herself. And I think when she was getting to the end of her life, it seems to me like she really was coming into her own. But, you know, the demon of the drug just couldn't escape her. So what was Janis Joplin's life purpose? What was her life purpose? You know, when you get justice, this means that this is destiny. You were destined to do this. Justice is the beginning and ending of a cycle of balance. Karma having to be paid. Interesting. She had a need to get emotional balance on this earthly plane. But this was her destiny. It was something that she had to go through. Okay, what are her thoughts on her death? What are her thoughts on her death? Aww. Queen of Pentacles. She so desperately wanted to be part of a family, to belong. The belonging is so strong here that she wanted to belong. She wanted to have a family. She wanted to have the kids. Oh. Clarifying it. Got Judgment. But clarifying it, we got the Judgment card. Okay. With the Judgment card, especially for her, there's almost like this want to escape this human, earthly creation that's holding you back. There's a want to be free of the pain, be free of the judgment. This is suicide. I don't think that she sat down and thought, I'm going to commit suicide. But she wanted the life with the family, and she was turned down by Seth. She wanted to have kids. She wanted to be that important Mother Earth to somebody. And crossing it, we've got judgment. So if you don't want to be judged, you want to be out of here. So I think that all of the necessary things that had to come to place for this to happen, for her to fulfill her destiny, came together. And that I think she knew and possibly wanted to die. It wasn't suicide as in, doing something purposefully or obviously, but
she was free of drugs for 6 months. And because of her heartache, her emotional imbalance, she did it. And I think a part of her knew. Especially when you look at 2 days prior to, she changed her something. Searching for belonging and feeling judged. But her worst judge was herself. But if you look at this judgment card, you want to let go of the ghost. Oh, God bless her, God bless her, God bless her. So, what are her thoughts on the afterlife? What are her thoughts on the afterlife? Another major arcana. So, she, like, you know, we said that it was a spiritual, like a karmic. She had to go through this, and she's getting a lot of major arcanas, which is saying yes. But as her thoughts on the afterlife, she got the world, the completion. So there's an aspect of, you know, there's an aspect here of completion being completed regardless of what happened on this earth, that your choices on earth, whether they be good or bad, all of that get washed away when it comes to the afterlife. You're in perfect peace. So God bless her. She's completed her destiny, her karma, her cycle. She's completed it with the world card. It's beautiful. And advice for us. What advice would Janis Joplin have for us? What advice would Janis Joplin have? Three of Swords. Oh, this is a harsh card. Look at it. I love this deck. It is beautiful. Okay, so with the Three of Swords here, you know, she's saying, look, you weren't sent to Earth to have everything be easy. You were sent to learn lessons. So know that the pain is going to be part of that lesson, and that through the pain, you find the joy, the euphoria. So this is saying, let go, let God, let the universe follow what your passion is, and try not to get caught up in all the ifs, ands, and buts of the world, because this is just a classroom. And so let go. Trust in God. Trust in the universe. Let go. Enjoy the pain. It sounds like a weird thing to say, but that's what I felt. Enjoy the pain. Wow. All right. And as always, I have our unity candle lit for each and every one of us. I hope you enjoyed our musical mystery. I'm not going to call it Monday Mysteries because I want to be able to do them whenever I want. I hope you enjoyed it. And as always, I thank you for your time. Please like, subscribe, and share. And cheerio.